All right, the recording has started.
Okay, good evening, everyone. We are going to start the today's session, which is the introduction to the course Data 650 for this summer semester. Next slide, Elena. And today here in the presentation is myself, Elena Gorsheva. I'm program director for the data analytic program and have been with UMGC since 2002, almost, more than 20 years. And I have been proud to apply all my professional experience toward building curricula and preparing students for future career, which is my preferred way to deliver what I know. With me today is Professor Ozan, who is going to be the professor for this course. Ozan, can you say a few words about yourself?
Yes, Professor, thank you very much. And thank you very much for your support all the time. Hello, everyone. This is Ozan. I have been with UMGC for 6-7 years right now and teaching this course and multiple other courses in the past. I am in the industry. I work as a project management, agile project management coach. And I have been in IT for maybe 10 years, but I have been teaching in online, in classroom for more than 20 years. So I would like to wish good luck to everyone and have a very successful semester.
And with us today is the star TA, Elena Batinskaya. She has been with UMGC for more than 13 years and has been a TA for the program since inception. Elena, can you say a few words about yourself?
Thanks, Maybe I have been a TA for 15 years, I believe. Yes. So, and I help you all in data system, if you may remember, maybe not.
Yelena, you are cutting out, Yelena.
Oh, so I have been I have been a TA for 15 years, and I've helped most of you in data system. So not sure if you may or may not remember me, but anyways, I wish you guys good luck, and we'll talk soon.
Excellent. Next slide. So the agenda today is to get an overview of what is the course, what are the expectations, what help you can get with the technology, because as any other class in the master degree, this one is also packed with different technology, and we will have to work and study every few weeks new tool in order to deal with the topic of this course. And of course, the most important thing and the benefits to attend this session for you is you will have the opportunity to ask any question related with the course comes in mind during the session. Next slide. So let's go very quick about the subject of the course, because some people, many of you are coming to the course with different expectations, because the topic of big data is very broad. And of course, everyone has the idea what we are talking about. Since beginning of the program, we are talking in the program about big data. In order to get in sync what you have to expect for this course, I'm going to do very quick overview. So what is big data? You already know what we are talking about, that the main challenge of the term of big data, which appeared more than 10 years ago, is the difficulty to deal with this data because of the size, because of the complexity, because of the variety of this data, we needed to develop different a way to capture this data, to storage, to access, and to do analytic and visualization on this data. So that is the key point you have to keep in mind why we are going to study this in the term of data analytic as a different course, because in order to deal with this data, we will have to work with different data architecture, with new tools to access big data because of the complexity. And of course, this implies consequently different skill for the data analyst, data scientists, which need to be acquired. And of course, we are going to try to do all this in terms of 12 weeks, like any of the courses in the program, and you understand this will be quite intense. Next slide. So again, keep in mind the main characteristic of big data. The volume is one of the things which is, let's say, is not the most difficult to deal with, because today technology permits to store huge amount of data and to access this huge amount of data. Most challenging thing is the complexity and the structure or not structure of the data, because we are talking about data which are quite structured and totally unstructured, like free text. Free text, we don't have any structure in free text. Images, mostly not structured. So the most complexity is regarding about this unstructured data, which are text and images, and they will be our main concern in this course. We mostly are going to focus on unstructured data, where the challenge to deal with them is about. So next slide, Ilana. Everything evolved historically to get to where we are. And like anything in data science and analytics, comes two ways. One thing is the necessity of the industry to deal with the data and to get something useful from this data in order to achieve better performance, better profit, better quality, better service to the customer. That is by one hand. And on the other hand is what the technology can offer in this realm to achieve these purposes. And having the both sides is very, let's say, graphically well represented in this slide, how everything evolved. So with the data, different technology, with the data from YouTube, Twitter, all this unstructured data, new technology like NoSQL databases appeared, and then think like Hadoop, which is, let's say, the platform, the first platform to deal with this data from Facebook, from Twitter, from Yahoo email, all this huge amount of unstructured data, and the necessity to deal with this data, plus the availability of technology, made it possible. And the first solution was Hadoop distributed file system to store and access this data. And then related technology with Hadoop, which is the MapReduce, how to access this data and process this data in order to do analytics. Elena, next slide. So up to here, I'm talking about stuff which you already know, like how data is classified from unstructured, semi-structured, quasi-structured, and totally structured. And again, the big amount of data today, which any enterprise, any company has and wants to deal, is the unstructured and quasi-structured data, which are text, images, or clickstream data, which we have and can classify with some quasi-structured, let's say, format. And we are going to focus exactly on this down part of the pyramid. Next slide. In this slide, I have several examples of this type of data. So you are going to get the presentation, and my suggestion is every time you have a task, think first about which type of data you are working with, and according to the type of data, semi-structured, unstructured, choose the method to deal with this. There is no point to use the methodology to deal with, which is quite complex, to deal with free text, to use if you have semi-structured or quasi-structured data where there is some structure and you can apply different and not so expensive and not so complex technology in order to get the insight of this data. So the purpose of this slide is exactly this. Think about where your data fit in this in this main type and choose the correct method. Next slide. So again, our main focus will be on totally unstructured data, which is the more complex way, not only to store and access, is to get insight of the unstructured data. And here are some very, let's say, easy to understand complexity, which are going to tell us why it's so difficult to deal with textual data. You understand that our language is quite complex. Even we as a human sometimes don't understand each other. We need to think about the text in context. Without context, we don't understand correctly many times the sentence or the phrase we are reading. So part of the complexity is in our free text is common to say, why do we fill a form by filling it out? I mean, it's just like sound as quite complex if we don't pay attention what exactly this sentence is saying, and how can a slim chance and a fat chance be the same? And there are thousands of examples about the complexity of our language. So I just want that you understand where we are going in this course. The purpose is based on what you studied already in all other courses, but to apply specifically in the realm of this complexity of data. Next slide. And here is something very important to understand about the course. Everything is evolving, and what we talk about today in big data is about AI. The artificial intelligence, the contemporary AI is what is, let's say, overarching topic in our course. And you will say, why? Well, the why is that today AI is a result of big data, which permitted the machine learning to give us more reliable results in any problem we can with available data. And this, let's say, graphical presentation of the intersection of big data, how big data boosts machine learning, and using let's say, some idea of the classical AI is what is the intersection of these three fields, and what is the today contemporary AI. When you read today about AI, AI has become a buzzword in the last 2 years, and in many literature, you just see using it indistinctly between machine learning and AI, like it's the same thing. As a data scientist, you understand it's not the same thing, but they have huge overlap, because the core, the heart of the today AI, not the classical AI, which want to substitute human. We are talking about the contemporary AI, which is built to enhance human capability, augment human capability. You can think about today AI as AI augmented intelligence. The purpose of the today AI is to augment, enhance human capability. And as such is what machine learning does with big data. So that is the reason that this buzzword, which has evolved in the last few years, is based mainly on what machine learning can do with big data. So that is the reason the topic of AI is a main overarching topic in our course, because it's the evolvement and the intersection of big data, machine learning with the purpose of artificial intelligence. In artificial intelligence, the classical definition was about, let's say, a computer program in general. That was the idea about artificial intelligence, which can act as a human with human intelligence and can substitute human. Today, we still don't think this is happening. Neither we think this will happen very, very soon. Well, this is a discussion today with the next Skype, but the idea of intelligent program, intelligent tool, which can act as similar to the human intelligence, that is the purpose of the today, where we today are going with AI. And since this cannot be separated from machine learning and big data, we are going to talk about this a lot in this class. So in order to classify all these terms, here is another slide which give the classification, like deep learning is part of the machine learning. Machine learning is integral part of the today AI, and there is overlap between artificial intelligence in data science, not total overlap, partial overlap. So that's why we are going to talk about this. So here I want to open, let's say, the conversation which is burning in the last 5 months, the ChatGPT, where ChatGPT stands in our course. Are we going to talk about this? And the answer is yes to everything. Why? Because ChatGPT has evolved as a development based on all the advancement all the tool, all the machine learning you have learned in this program, neural network, deep learning, and based on trained with huge amount of textual language information and can generate content. It's not just answering question, it's what we talk about today, generative AI, and this is kind of application based on all the algorithm you have learned up to now, and some very creative people put together this toward application, what is today ChatGPT. And of course, the hype is so big that we are going to talk about this in this course, because the concern is how ChatGPT is going to affect my profession as data scientist, how ChatGPT, of course, going to affect my personal life, and what is the future of data science, what is how ChatGPT will evolve. Are we going to get to this artificial intelligence which is going to substitute human? All these things are today hot topic, and they are very in line with what is our course about big data. So we are going to talk about all this. Next slide. So since the main difficulty of dealing with big data are related with storing, sharing, accessing, we are going to work with new data architecture. So the beginning about spreadsheet, data warehouses, sandbox, this is already evolving toward, next slide, Ilana, data lake, and so on. So traditionally, data scientists was working, asking IT person, IT team to build the structure, the data structure, which is needed to solve certain business problem, right? That always has been traditionally the task of the data scientist, data analyst. And the IT department in 3, 4, 5 months, spending a lot of money, will build something like a data warehouse, and then a report can be run from this data warehouse. The today approach, when we talk about big data, is quite different. Everything is in the cloud. Everything is deployed. All the tool needed to do analytics, to store data. Data and processing tool, everything is in the cloud. For different reasons, more effective and organizationally better from point of view of the data scientists. So data scientists will find all the tool, all the data in the cloud, and this is provided by the IT department beforehand. It can be even not hosted by the company. It can be subcontracted of the main cloud provider. We all know Amazon, Azure, and so on and on. So the architecture with all the tool and data is provided. As a data scientist, you will be asking the business question, and in order to answer this business question, you would have to go to the cloud, work with the data you have uploaded in the cloud, and select the appropriate tool which will help you to solve this business problem. So you see, this is totally different approach, and this is the approach we will going to use in this class. Everything you will be working in the cloud. Why? Because we have to train you in the way industry is expecting, any data scientist is trained. Many of the things, some of the things you were doing in previous classes in your personal computer running a Python notebook. Everything today are Python and different database architecture will be used in the cloud, because big data cannot be accessed, stored, and doing analytic if you don't know how to do it in the cloud. So this is going to be part of the training in this course. Next slide. So this course is mostly designed the same way like other courses. Up to here, I talk about the difference that everything will be in the cloud. And I think I made the case why it's going to be in the cloud. But everything else is practically the same way in all other courses. You will have 4 major assignments and a few minor assignment which will prepare you for the major assignment. So you will have to learn new tools, some kind of quiz or tutorial to get ready for the major assignment. When we say major assignment is which is the time consuming and where big portion of your grade is decided. Of course, you will have the opportunity for discussion to get together with your classmate and your professor and to go above and beyond the reading you have and get better understanding, have ample understanding of the topic of study of this specific week or module. Next slide. And just to make sure, I want to repeat something which most of you are aware. The program is going to turn 10 years in this fall. And for 10 years, this is relatively, let's say, relatively new program. And we already have won several awards in program level for let's say innovation to teams, student teams participating in competition, international competition with competitors from all 5 continents. We're talking about 200 and something university, and our MSDA team in several occasions ranked 1, 1st, 2nd, 3rd place. So we are very proud, and these trends continue. Next. So I want to give the presentation slide to Professor Ozan to talk about the specific tentative course schedule, grading policy, and so on. Ozan.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Professor. So in our class, in this course, we have 4 main assignments and a couple of small tutorial assignments. What we are doing is, like in the first 2 weeks, we will be analyzing big data and Hadoop, analytics on Hadoop. So at the end of the 2nd week, we are going to have the first assignment. In week 3 and 4, we will be working on on Spark. At week 7 and 8, we will be working on sentimental analysis and the memory analytics at the week 9.
So we are going to have one sentimental analysis tutorial due on week 8 and assignment 3 due on week 9. And at the week 10, 11, and 12, we will be working on cognitive analytics, which we also talk about and have a discussion on the GPT as well. And our assignment is due the last week, assignment 4 about chatbots. So what we are doing is we have discussion boards for all this by the second week, by the 6th week, by the 9th and by the 12th week. So we have 4 discussions, 4 main assignments, and 2 tutorial assignments. So I would like to say that this is a very demanding class. At the end, when you look at this, you will be learning too many very helpful tools that you can use in your career, in future career, in the industry, very popular tools. But just because of this, it's a very demanding class, right? So we are expecting you to put at least 15 to 20 hours for this class, especially when you have some major assignments. Please don't leave it to the last week or the last days, because it's, you may have problem with the those assignments, assignment descriptions, or the tools that you're learning. So instead of that, go with the pace. Every week, put your time, join the discussions as early as you can. And you go with the pace. If you follow this schedule, I am sure you will be very successful. You will get very high grade, and also you will learn these tools very well. And before each assignment and tutorials, our dear teaching assistant Yelena, technology assistant Yelena, will help us with the help sessions. She will be having live sessions, which she will go through the assignment, go through the tool, and she will also respond to your questions. So we will be always supporting you with the live help sessions, outside the regular times as well, and outside the help sessions as well. Yes, Yelena. Next one. Let's see if you have anything else. Right. So these are our, again, major assignments: Hadoop, Spark, sentimental analysis, and chatbots. Grading. So for your grading, I will be regularly posting announcements. In the announcements, I will be keep reminding you the core assignment due dates, assignment contests, our expectations, and everything. So if you follow my announcements, submit your discussions on time, submit your assignments on time, I'm sure it's going to be end up a very good grading, but also more importantly, a very good learning. When you are submitting your assignments, if you deliver the requirements of this classroom, you will definitely get minimum B. If you meet the requirements, you will definitely get the B. But if you would like to get A level class, A level grade, you just need to get more deep discussions. You need to create critical discussions. You need to question, okay, this is my answer, but here's the reason behind it. So you will definitely, if you meet the requirements, you will definitely get B or 90. But if you want to go beyond 90, so you need to provide us more detailed discussions, because when I submit the grade and when I give the 90, 91 or 89, students get back to me and says, Professor, I delivered everything. Why am I still getting 90? Here is the reason. Okay, so if you would like to go beyond B, beyond 90, so you would like to follow everything in these slides. Yes, Elena. Yelena, you would like to go on these chapters?
Sure, I was on, yes, okay. Hello? I was on mute, so, okay. Why do I hear echo? Anyway, okay, so basically in your course content, you have some already booked chapters. There are several chapters. They're good, they're excellent. So when you click on the link to read the chapter, you're gonna be asked to select your university name, okay? So you're just gonna select the not listed, right? Select one not listed from the drop-down, and then just enter your email, okay? That's basically how you answer. So let me see if I have the classroom open, right? And I'm gonna do view as a view. Okay, so basically, if you look at this is what I'm talking about. You look at the content, right? And on a week, see this here course content, and you're gonna go to the this week module, which is week 1 and 2, right? If you scroll down in here, there are two chapters, right? There are several chapters in here. See here, this one, chapter 1, introduction, right? So that takes you to the book. You go click here, then you're gonna be presented with this pop-up, and you're gonna select not listed, okay? So somewhere in this pop-up, I believe it's at the end, there is an option not listed. You're gonna select this. I don't see it right now, but there should be. Oh, here it is. Sorry, they changed the interface. It says institution not listed. There was a little link here that I have to click. And then I'm gonna put my email, right? Which is my email. And I'm gonna click on let's go, and it's gonna take me to the chapter, that's all. Okay. They changed a little bit the interface. There is now a little link where it says institution not listed. Okay. So here it is. This is my chapter. That's basically what this slide is about, right? It's how to access these readings, okay? Well, this one is about help with technology software. I'm gonna be yelling at you through the whole semester and what not to do. Please, 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 do not call UMGC help desk. They're not gonna help you. This is the reason why some students were not getting timely response, because what they did was they called the UMGC help desk, but now there is no way to forward the cases directly from help desk. They create pre-case. So the bottom line is your case, if you call the help desk, your case might not get to us for 2 or 3 business days, okay? So please, 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 to get prompt assistance, this is what you need to do. You're gonna go to here, right? So you're gonna click on the content, right? You click on the content. Then you're gonna scroll down. And in here, you see help with technology software. What you will do is click on this link. See this? It says here, this is a link. Very important. Do not select technical support assistant. You want to select UMGC virtual lab support. Then you're a student. Case subtype is going to be data analytics, right? Then subtype detail, well here, if you're not sure, then just select other, if you're not sure. Program is data, course, important, data 650, you must select correct course, right? So session, how do you know your session? If you scroll up, it's here, right next to the course name. So session is 9040. In this case, we have only one session, I believe. So this is 9040, okay? Academic term right now is the summer. You put assignment name in here, like assignment 1, assignment 2. So here goes the step. UMGC classroom name, what is it? You have an email that ends with student.umgc.edu. The first portion of that email goes here, right? So it's usually the first letter of the first name, your last name, and maybe some number, all right? And here you just specify your machine type, right? An operation system, right? Here, you need to make sure that you provide accurate information, because your first and last name, phone number, you can be reached. At email, make sure that email is known within your UMGC data, okay? Now here, remember, asking effective questions is part of the data analyst and data scientist career. So what you want to do here is you need to describe the steps you're taking to generate, to produce an error, right? How should I, as an assistant, produce the errors that you're getting? What steps are you taking? What are you getting? What do you expect? And please, 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 when it's possible, take a screenshot of an issue. So you're gonna do, see here, you can attach up to 5 files. You can attach the screenshot of an issue, okay? So what's gonna happen after you submit the case? I need to talk about that too. You're gonna receive 2 emails. First email is a confirmation email, where it's gonna have your case number. Please, please, please do not lose the case number. Once in a while, if you made a mistake somewhere on a form, selected the wrong course, etc., the case may go to the wrong queue. I will find your case by that case number. So save the case number. Occasionally, the email ends up in your spam or junk folder. Please, if you did not get confirmation, please check your junk folder, okay? Then an email will be sent not directly from me. It will be sent from the the email will be sent from rather from Virtual Lab, okay? So please watch out for that. Another thing is that you need to, I'm asking everybody to respond to proposed solution. Even if proposed solution solves the issue, just say, oh, thank you, that solves the issue, you may close the ticket. Because if there is no response to the ticket for 2 days, the ticket will be closed and Professor Ozan will be notified. I will notify the instructor that you have not responded to the ticket, just to make sure, okay? I have to do what I have to do. All right, so that's that. So this is about the Salesforce case that I just talked about it, right? I just talked about it, right? Here are just some of the tools that you're gonna use in this course, right? So you have DB2, you have Spark, you have Python Cognitive, Cloud Spark, and those are the languages. You're gonna do some SQL, okay? Okay. Some common issues that you're gonna submit. Okay, for example, you're working on a GB2 and you need help with ungraded exercises, with some ungraded exercises, right? So when you try to run query and you get an error, I'll help you with that. You're trying to do the Spark assignment, for example, and for some unknown reason, you're trying to run the code even, and for some unknown reason, you're getting an error, something like that. I'll help you out. I'll see what you're doing. Right now, you're working on a VM Cloud account, right? And for some reason, suppose that you already have an account and the account expired, then you would need to work with me on what we can do, what options you have, and sometimes the issue may require screen sharing. So that's one example. Well, some students ran into they were working on a part of the GB of assignment 3, and they ran into memory issues because they were doing something that they were not aware of, and help. Well, sometimes even when you're writing a code, sometimes you need a second set of eyes to look at it. Maybe sometimes you're spending many hours on finding a mistake, and somebody, maybe me, just look and see it. You never know, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes there are unexpected updates to the system. Maybe interface is different, then you submit and I'll take a look. You know what I'm saying, right? So I hope it helped. Did it help? Well, so yes. Yeah, so yes, there issues are different each time. So every semester there is something that I have not seen before because things change on the IBM Cloud as we speak. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, things come up, but do not hesitate to ask for help and do not wait until the last minute. In fact, what I did was I put together this list, and this was intended for data 610, but again, you know, I think I want to bring it here applies here. To questions, any technical issues such as login, access, and data, right? And an issue may require a screen share. So this is what to expect. You're gonna get an email with a case number, and the second email is gonna be from this address. That's gonna be me, right? And I'm gonna respond with a proposed solution. Then please do not call UMGC help desk. Do not use any Salesforce forms outside the classroom. Use the form inside the classroom. Do not select the technical support case type. Do not lose the case number. Do not wait until the last minute. So you want to use Salesforce form in the classroom. Select virtual lab support case type. Select in the drop down. You want to make sure that you provide the accurate contact information. You need to describe the steps to reproduce the issues and include screenshots. Okay? You need to keep the case for the future references. You want to respond to email with proposed solution, and you want to check the spam and junk folder if you have not received the response. More likely, it's going to be in the spam folder. Okay? And also, when you respond, please include this email in your reply. Okay? We need to make sure that the responses are recorded in the Salesforce. All right. So I hope it makes sense, right? So I may need to give you this file also. Okay. All right. Well, this is just a screenshot of the IBM Cloud platform. And for your IBM Cloud account, since I already had one case, I need to explain to everyone because everyone might have the same question. So if you go to this here, in the course content, right, you see this IBM Cloud academic account. Please remember there are several steps to get an account. You first need to get the feature code. It's a 32-digit code, I believe. So here you need to go to this site. You need to go to this academic webpage and register, right, with your student account. And this is where you get the feature code, and not coded, but 32-digit code. Okay. So once you get that code, right? So that's gonna be, you're gonna log in, scrolling all the way down. This is where you're gonna request. And at this step, see this is how it looks like. The IBM feature code looks like this. Do you see this? I'm trying to. This is how this code, IBM feature code, looks like this. This is the code that you would need to apply when you create the IBM Cloud account. This is a feature code that you need to apply. Okay, it's not the confirmation code that's sent to you via email. That 7-digit code is just to confirm your identity. But this is a code that you're gonna apply. So here you're creating the account, right? And here you're creating the IBM Cloud account, right? Then you're gonna see it. Like at this step, it's just email verification code. But when you scroll down, when you get to this page, see this account information, you're gonna click on register with a code. And after you click on register with a code, you need to apply the feature code, right? So it's not the code that you got in the email, it's that code, it's this code that you need to apply, okay? You can just see here, see this copy code, right? At that step, you can just copy paste it to the notepad, and then when you got to this step, apply that code, okay? Register with a code, and then you're gonna apply this feature code and click on create an account, okay? There are a lot of code, so I wanted to clarify because I received some questions, and I think others may have the same question, okay? Well, we're gonna go to Cloudpak later, right? Which is a sub-platform. But let's hold on to this until assignment 2, okay? Okay. Well, this is just how to say everything. What that you're gonna use, it goes back to, do you remember the famous game Jeopardy, right? And do you remember when a contestant Kim was playing with a computer, right? An intelligent computer who beat him, right? So all of that natural language and all of that intelligence falls back to that interesting game, right? But just little history here. Okay, I'm gonna be a broken record. I'll be repeating this at all times. When we have, every time when we have a meeting, right, I'll have to repeat this. Most of these assignments, they cannot be done in one sitting. So you do not want to wait until the last day, because when you wait until the last day, your login stops working, the code does not work, things happen, right? Or maybe you get power outage, T-storm, something like that. So please start early. Please do not submit any IBM tickets. They do not know your homework assignments. They're not going to help you. And by all means, please do not enter credit card information. This cannot be undone. Then you will be responsible for the charges. And not just that, the TA will not be able to help because we don't have the paid account. The instructions are not the same as for the account with a feature code, right? So please be careful here. Do not add credit card. It's better to ask if you're not sure, but please. And please also do not deactivate your IBM Cloud account. This cannot be undone. And do not let your IBM Cloud account expire. So at the end of December, you will be able to get another code just to continue practicing. If your student email is still active, you can keep getting another code every year. Your code is valid for until the end of the academic year, okay? Just know that. And do not click on deactivate by all means, please, because then that's it. You can get only one code for a year. So we need to be careful here, okay? So what you should do, well, I usually live by 24-hour rules. As a former student, I aim to finish all assignments 24 hours in advance, 24 hours before they were due. So they're due on Tuesday. I try to, if it's due on Tuesday, I try to finish it by Monday. Why? Because you want to leave yourself 24-hour window because, well, suppose that you forgot to add something, right? You still have time to remember. Then you forgot perhaps to add your name. You still have time to remember. You have a big thunderstorm. You lost power, but your work is ready to submit. You know what I'm saying? So things could happen. And there could be an emergency. Anything could happen. You're gonna have, you want to have the work ready to submit, right? Or at least something that is ready to submit. And even if you do get an extension for multiple reasons, please be aware that the work in this course piles up, okay? So suppose that you got more time on assignment 1, let's cut the time for assignment 2. You see what I'm saying? Extensions do not really work in this class because the work piles up really quick. So, then there are some ungraded exercises. You need to do them. Why? Because in the next assignment, you may see graded exercises similar to what you did in ungraded exercises. So please do that. That will help you learn the software, and you may actually submit tickets, and I'll help you with ungraded exercises. You want to spend necessary time on each lesson. You want to keep announcements daily, and you want to pay attention to the guidance. Okay, but you may already know that you may set up alert to receive the emails when announcement has been posted, right? So if you go back to D2L, right, there should be some settings where you may do, so see here, this is a settings called notifications. And in these settings, you can choose when you want to receive the email. For example, new announcement available, an announcement updated. You can receive an email or you can receive an SMS, right? When something like grade, when the grade was posted, when instructor posted grade, you can receive the notification and etc. So here, play around with notifications settings. I want to miss an announcement, but I do understand that it might be easier to check your emails than to D2L, right, Leo? You want to follow instructions to submit cases And then you want to make sure that your email is up to date, okay? Because sometimes the instructor sends an email, and if in the classroom, if you have an email that you do not check, you're not gonna get it, right? Make sure that the email in the classroom is the one that you actually check, okay? So here I just put some guidance. When you submit the Salesforce case, well, if you have an account issues, if you need an assistant launching the services, if you have some code errors, when you need help with ungraded exercises, any software related questions. Like for example, how do I concatenate first and last name as a single string in a query? How do I write a query to found something, something, things like that. How do I use the code function? How do I use distinct in a query? How do I write a query to return unique results? It's just an example, right? Now, capacity hours we're gonna talk about later. Okay? Well, instructions when there are major discrepancies, right? Well, what's happening is that the system gets updated as we speak. So things like different color of the button, different banners, this is not major change. Major change is something like big changes to the steps happen, right? Well, if you have questions about the data you're working with and other technical issues. But if you have questions about the due dates and the syllabus questions, this need to go for an instructor, right? Then if you have a question about your grade, your specific grade, if you have some unforeseen circumstances or anything that's confidential, that goes to the instructor, okay? I just put this guidance. This is a partial list for you, right? And you're gonna have a copy of these slides. Right now it's time for questions. Anything else that Professor would like to add? Any questions, concerns? Professor Ozan, it's back to you.
All right, Yelena, thank you so much. So for this slides, Yelena, we have questions definitely for the instructors, but we also have the questions for the applications that we learn and use, right? So for the instructor questions, you can there are some discussions board that you can post, and you can also email me the questions. This can be related to syllabus questions. This can be related to the assignment descriptions about the grading and everything. But since Yelena has much more technical knowledge on the application, so we would like you to ask, please send all the application related questions, direct them to the Yelena. Of course, you can copy me. I will be on those emails too, but the way to reach out to Yelena is creating a Salesforce ticket. So when you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me through the discussion board and the email. But the only way to reach out to Yelena is the creating a Salesforce ticket. For this, we will have a lot of announcements, videos and instructions for you to how to create the Salesforce ticket if you don't know yet. But please follow those instructions. If you do not follow those instructions properly, your questions will go to somewhere else, another classroom, another TA, and you will say that, okay, Yelena is not responding, right? So, but if you follow the instructions very well, Yelena will definitely reach out to you in a very short time. Yelena is amazing in responding to those tickets, very quick, on time. Of course, she has a professional life too, right? So please, if you send a question, please use the Salesforce ticket. Anything else you think I need to add, Yelena?
After this, you can get a link to record copy of the slide and also the word.
So Yelena, you are breaking
Yes.
it, but yes, we will definitely provide you always at the end of these sessions, help sessions. We will provide you the presentations, the files that Yelena using, because Yelena will have a help sessions, right? Right before our
yes.
assignments and the tutorials, and she will be using the presentations and some files. We will definitely be sharing with you the recording, presentations, and the files. Yelena, sorry, you were saying something. I cut you.
Well, no, I'm not sure what's going on, but it works most of the time. But I have to complete the no. I don't know.
All good, Yelena.
Oh, okay.
So let's, yeah.
And repeating again, that copy of the PowerPoint and recording, everyone will get tomorrow.
Right. Zoom has some time that need to create for those recordings. As soon as Zoom create those recordings, we will be sharing it. Right.
Earlier this week, it took me half an hour to wait for 7 minutes recording. It was 7 minutes only, and it took half an hour to process. So, and this is a 1 hour recording. It's gonna be an hour, I think. We'll see. Yeah,
All right, Yelena, what do we have in the next slide?
that's it.
Okay, perfect. So any question in the class?
Hi, I was going to try to type this out, but then it was taking too long. I'm still getting familiar with the course content, and I was wondering if the PowerPoint presentations are going to be available for the lectures that are listed. For example, in week 1 and 2, there's a link for the week 1 and 2 lecture, but I haven't seen the PowerPoint that accompanies that. Or maybe I'm overlooking it.
So instead of some PowerPoints, we have a lot of contents,
Yeah.
the links and the articles that we share with you, and you can reach out to this course content from this content link.
Yeah,
There are too many.
so that guy right there, that one right there. So that's the video link. I was wondering if the PowerPoint presentation, like the actual documentation was available, or is it just the video?
Let me check what you're talking about. I'm checking the classroom.
Yelena, I'm sharing it.
Week 1 and 2.
Yep, this one. The link takes to your YouTube. Oh, no, the link takes to the Zoom.
Presentation, we will be talking about Hadoop ecosystem. My name is Elena Gorcheva. I'm problem. Okay, for the first I own you, I have to find it in my computer.
Okay.
I see it's not, I see with the model classroom, sometimes this happen, in the model is there, and when they copy the model to the actual section, some attachment perish.
Oh, 100%. Yep.
So I will find it by tomorrow. I promise I will find it.
Fantastic.
And there is a second one. Which is the second one?
Hello and welcome to Big.
Oh, this is not, what do you call it? It's going to be University. It's a video from Big Data University. That's a video.
I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
This is a video from Big Data University. This one. This is a video.
Hello, and welcome to
This is a video.
Oh, this is just video. There is no PowerPoint. That is not our production.
Mhm.
Whatever is produced by us, I mean, the professor, myself, we have, of course, the PowerPoint. But when we link a video from other producer, there is just the video. Now, from this book, what is chapter 2, there are also video, but it's too much. I decided not to link the video because it's gonna be too much. Let me put it this way. I'm talking about the book about MapReduce, chapter 2, chapter 1, chapter 2 in the Massive, what's the book? Let me see. Sorry. Massive.
Designing the data platform. It's here, you know.
MMDS. The book is okay. MMDS.
This is a real B&H customer story.
We do have, I will find the link. Okay, the thing is it was too much to put everything. But if you wish, I will put the link and you can get everything from there. Okay?
This is a book, right? Right. Yeah.
And then the last question for me, thank you. This was a very informative presentation. And you went through that we will be covering several different software applications. I was wondering if you could maybe speak to your favorite or the one that you think that would be the most valuable that we should become just exceptional at. Maybe if there is one that's more dominant over the other, that maybe we should focus our additional learning to help us further our careers and everything from the softwares that you listed. Do you have a favorite or a recommendation? I'm very new to all of these, so just asking that.
Okay, there is not such a thing as one preferred. So you will need at least selection of everything. It's too much software, we understand this, but you will have to have something to store data, to access data. Hadoop is the old technology, which still many companies spend a lot of money and they have it. So the contemporary advancement of this technology is Spark. And when we get Spark is, you have to think about not only the engine, the computational engine to deal with big data, but also where data is stored, which source of where data will be accessed. So you will need a database, NoSQL, SQL. Hadoop has different way to access data. Spark has a different. So you will have, when you work with Spark, you will have the possibility to do SQL. You will have the possibility to do Python notebook. You will have the possibility to do R. So you have to work with each of them. Let's put it this way. When we talk about R and Python, you can go just with one. And I would say the tendency today is mostly toward Python, mostly, not totally, because if you talk about statistical machine learning, you have to live with R. So there is no single answer to your question. Sorry, but that is the truth.
No, that's fantastic. Thank you to help me kind of reframe that. And I'm just really, really excited to dive into this and a little intimidated. So thank you very much.
Don't worry, don't worry. So think about in the following term for big data. You will need to have the storage, okay? So what will be the storage? Select from all possibility one. It will be age-based, it will be Hive, it will be whatever database, okay? It will be DB2 from IBM, whichever. You will have to select the database. Your data should be stored somewhere, you know. Then you will need the engine, the computational engine, which will be able to deal to access this data and to process this data. The best recommendation in this case I can give it is Spark at the moment, okay? In few years, we don't know what will be. And as a data scientist, you have signed it for a career, for lifelong learning, okay? Because everything is changing. What I'm running as a program today is what? Around 35% on when we started 10 years ago. Everything else, everything has changed. We change constantly. If we have students who have taken off 2 years, taking several courses, and they're returning back, and they find difficult time to catch up, you know. So that is the reality in which we develop our profession as a data scientist. But what you will study today will be at least for some time viable tool. And it's just the tool, because the most important thing we learn in the program as a data, to prepare you as a data scientist, is the approach, how to approach problem, how to solve problem, and of course you need the tool. What I want to make sure you understand, that the tool change. What has not changed during these 10 years is R and Python, but only R and Python is not enough. The only thing changing in R and Python is the version, and they are getting more powerful with more packages, with more function, doing more about this and the other. But these are the two tools, but that is not enough to deal in data science, you know. Many can do the profession just using only Python and R, but you will have to do everything, and you won't be able to deal with big data. For big data, you will need some NoSQL or columnar database. I mean, you will need another engine. You will just Python, you will need computational engine, which will be capable to deal with the huge, humongous amount of data. I don't know if I confuse you more or I clarify. So I'm stop talking until next question. Don't cry.
Something on the time. Oh, okay. Any other questions, guys?
Gelin, I guess we're all good.
Okay. If you're good, then I'm recording because the light, right? Thank you all for attending this session. All right.
Thank you, Professor Gorcheva. Thank you, Elena.